So this is it. This is the final level of Painkiller. Hell.
So we did that whole thing with the subtitles because basically that sums it up better than we ever could.
Yeah. And honestly, if we started to speak about how well designed and all of this, the level will be, I don't know, it will become pretty much unbearable. So we pretty much decided that, well, this level just speaks for itself.
Yeah, we'd show it to you before we actually started killing shit.
It's definitely the best level designed in this game, and probably one of the best I can remember in an FPS.
Yeah.
I mean, just overall, the presentation is amazing.
Yeah, just to add one thing to the whole, what you saw earlier, is that you notice how in the beginning, when you see that horde of knights charging forward over in the medieval spot, you notice how you never actually see any individual people. It's always just a mass of people. Because the whole thing with Hell is that we're just looking at, you know, all the horrible things humanity has done. It's not ever about one person. So
yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So yeah,
so the gameplay here is pretty simple. You'll see these sort of transparent enemies coming towards you. They'll die in one hit from any weapon. And
yeah, it's just that these
66 of them.
Yeah, it's just that these guys hurt a lot when they hit you, but fortunately they're really easy to avoid and deal with, if only because they're so slow. But
Best thing is just the shuriken or the chain gun. You can take them out easily.
So here we go. Welcome. Yeah.
Final boss.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, completely anticlimactic.
Yeah. This is probably
Alistair is a far better final boss.
So yeah, what we're doing right now is we're in Demon Morph, and what we need to do is, well, you just click on the little
He throws
stone.
his sword at you, you shoot it, it hits him in the gut, he dies.
Yeah,
that's it.
And before you do that, you need to click on the stones, right? And as they're between you and him, and once that you've hit him a couple of times, he throws his sword, and then you shoot him with Demon Morph to throw the sword back at him, and he dies. So yeah.
It took longer to explain how the battle goes than to actually do it.
Yeah.
That sums it up.
It's really complicated at first, but once you know how to do it, this is really such an easy final boss.
Yeah, but see,
okay,
the reason behind that is actually that this isn't the real ending of the game. The actual story ending is what you get when you're playing on Trauma, where Alistair is actually the final boss, which makes a little more sense because he's actually a decent fight.
Yeah.
And Trauma has a different ending, but yeah.
We'll post about that in the thread.
Yeah.
Up here, you can actually jump on some of the rocks that are sort of flying up from the explosion, and if you go all the way along them, then you'll eventually get to an armor secret down there. It's actually pretty nice here for the view you can get of the explosion. You can get pretty damn close to it. And I don't know, I really like the fact that a lot of these objects are sort of frozen.
The frozen in time feeling that this level gives out really adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really, really well done.
Yeah. There's nothing you can say, it's just well done.
Yeah.
This is the only annoying secret to get. You've got to jump on the rubble to go all the way up here. And then once you're high enough up, then you can jump around the side and then in through the window into a section where you couldn't access any other way. But really, you don't need any of these things because you don't need gold. And you don't need armor or health, so why are you even bothering?
Yeah, you might want a small armor just in case, but getting any of the harder secrets is not worth it. So, time to get out of here.
And that's the end of the level.
Yeah.
That's it.
67 monsters killed, that's the 66 that we unlocked with Lucifer and then killing him.
Yeah, and we finished by having probably one of the best cards in the entire game. You can use your golden cards 3 times per level.
This is great for Trauma and just whenever you're playing it again, because now you've got a clear file with the entire deck.
And this card is pretty much going to be what you're going to be using for all of the levels, considering that cards like Soul Catcher and all of this become irrelevant in Trauma since there's no soul.
Yeah.
Instead, the game becomes pretty much all about using your golden cards at the right moment.
Yeah, and since you have 3 uses of them, it actually becomes more strategic at what times you're going to use them. But anyway, this is what your full deck looks like, including the
trauma only
the
card.
trauma card.
Because otherwise, we will have needed to finish the game, but then we will miss Divine Intervention. But since that we've cheated ahead and get the card, well, we now have a full deck.
So this is what it would probably look like at the end of a trauma game.
Way too much gold, every single card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, if I was the one playing, there would be way more gold than this.
Actually, I got the screenshot from you, Psych. So this is your gold.
Oh god, my plan backfired.
So now we know, Psych. Now we know.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed
Everyone knows
in you.
my terrible
I
secret.
expected more.
Well,
So
that's
that's
the
it.
end. That's
That's
the last
Painkiller.
level in Painkiller. It's not the
Yeah.
true ending, but it's the last level you'll play.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for watching Painkiller, but the thread is not over yet because once this is done, well, I'm gonna be tackling Battle Out of Hell, the expansion to this game, with pretty much the same people than we had on board, only though, well,
Now,
yeah.
Battle Out of Hell is essentially levels taken that were cut from Painkiller at the last minute and then released 6 months later as this expansion. They're not as cohesive, and they're also not as good, which was probably why they were cut. But you'll get to see that when we do it.
Yeah.
Mate, actually, when Psych does it, because Baldurk and I are not touching that thing with a 10-foot stick.
Yeah, I played it through a nightmare. That's enough for me. I've done my penance.
Yeah, it's not really that much of a bad game, but it's still not really that brilliant.
We'll leave that to you when Psych plays through it. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's it for Painkiller. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
See you.